that this is just kind of like a day-to-day life. And people are just looking to get to know who you are and want to see if you're kind of interesting, right? So the first sort of question that definitely every interview will ask, doesn't matter what field you're in, it is, what are your research interests? And what they're looking for is a match with the program and the people that are actually in that particular program. So you'd want to actually dig deep into the other people that are not only being interviewing you, but also the other people in their department, and just actually take a moment and read a couple of their articles. Um, each individual person read their article, go into what they're actually about, and then you can have a conversation with them. And then the other thing is, you find out during this process whether you actually want to work in that particular area, because if there's like everybody's doing stuff that doesn't interest you, you're like, well, why am I actually applying? Why am I going through this process? But if there's somebody that's really resonates with you, I study learning from failure, for example, or I study how organizations improve over time with experience, or don't improve. And so if that resonates with you, then and then you could have that conversation, and that might actually that would help a lot. And, I've been in interviews where people have sort of pointed that stuff out, and I'm like, oh my God, they read my stuff. I'm super excited about this. And then the vast majority of the other interviews, they've never read any of the stuff that I've done. And I'm like, kind of so-so with that. Just don't really have the same sort of connection, I guess, is the big thing. And that's really what you're looking for, is a connection with that other individual person. And, part of that is just kind of reading, figuring out what that person's about and looking at what their research interests are. Um, and when you're reading other people's work, you're going to find out what your research interests are as well. Because a lot of us, including me and virtually everybody I know, wasn't, I was sure when I went in, but I wasn't really sure during the process in both of those. And once I figured it out, it got a little bit clearer. Still not sure, but I'm getting better in terms of what I'm interested in. And, it's kind of an evolving construct. So anyways, you want to demonstrate that you've actually read somebody else's work. That's going to be your job, and that's the whole process of actually learning things. So definitely do that in terms of the research interests. The second thing is, this is a screening question, is where do you see yourself in the future? And if you say anything other than doing research and working in some sort of academic institution in terms of being either a research professor or working at, I don't know, NBER, National Bureau of Economic Research, doing something like that, they're going to give you not a very good sort of rating, I guess, because they're screening you at that moment to see, did you actually do your job, and see that this is any one of that stuff is like, is this, sort of a research trajectory that you're going on? And, professors, just like everybody else, are absolutely self-interested. We all are. Human beings are very much self-interested, and we're just looking to see if we can, have you leverage some of the knowledge that we sort of give you, right? And then if you write papers and you sort of partner, or you become famous and stuff, and you recognize those particular advisors, that looks good on us. And so that's what we're looking for. And if you say that you're going to go into consulting or something like that, which I did, I was kind of dumb, and